Welcome back, my true crime junkie friends. I am excited to be back with another episode. And if you are new to True Crime Junkie Podcast, welcome. I'm happy you are joining us. Make sure that you all stay tuned and subscribe now so you will receive notifications on all new upcoming episodes. I also need to provide this warning. The following episode contains some strong situations and languages. Listeners' discretion is advised. So this week I have been focusing on some of most popular cold cases that are still open and being investigated. Some of these cases that I'm coming up with have not really received too much media attention. They received some. They are other podcaster that have shared some of the cases of that information, some information on these cases. But I was really interested in looking into those more than the ones that are very popular and out there. Maybe we can help these cases and bring more attention to them, and hopefully maybe even bring some tips in. So some of the upcoming cases that I will be showing, I will share them on my Instagram page. So if you are following me on my Instagram page, you can also read up on some of these cases. And hopefully we can help some of these families bring closure and justice. Remember to please be kind in your comments for respect to the families. If you have any questions or suggestions, you're welcome to private message us or message us through the comments, but just remember to be please kind and respectful. So let's begin now. Today we will be discussing the case of Alonzo Brooks. I'm sure some of you heard of this. He was born May 19 of 1980 to Billy Brooks Sr. and Maria Ramirez in Topeka, Kansas. Alonso was the youngest of 5 children and was lovingly referred to as the surprise baby by many of the family members. And because he was the youngest, his mom Maria tended to be a bit overprotective with him. Alonso was a biracial baby, as his mom is Mexican and his dad African American. Sometimes family and friends called Alonso as a nickname Zoe. That was a nickname given to him by his closest friends and family members. His friends and families described Alonso as a 23-year-old, mild-mannered and good-humored by those that know him very closely. He was a homebody who truly preferred to spend time with his family, including his younger cousins. He got along with everyone and had no enemies. He seems to be best friends with everyone based on what their family described. Alonso loved sports and just hanging out with his friends. At the time of his death, Alonso was working as a custodian for his stepfather's janitorial company in Gardner, Kansas. Now, let's move a little bit forward. On Saturday, April 3rd of 2004, it was a chilly day, a little cloudy. Alonso had made plans to go to a party. His mom, Maria, had told him to be careful and that she loved him as he was heading out. Alonso met his friends Justin Sprague and 3 other close friends, Daniel Fune, Adam, and Tyler Brohard. They headed out to the party at a farmhouse in rural Lansing. I think I may have said it wrong, Lansing, about an hour from where he lived in Topeka, Kansas. Now they arrived and noticed that the party was growing much larger than they anticipated, and maybe with over 100 people there already. So most of the guests were not known to Alonso or his friends. It was said that it was notable that Alonso was one of the only couple of black men at the party at that moment. And according to Alonso's friends, he seemed to be having a good time at the party. But as the night progressed, sometime before 12:30, a male partygoer, and unknown to Alonso and his friends, makes a racist remark. Some will later report that the incident was sparked by Alonso's flirting with a young white female. Daniel Fune, one of Alonso's friends, breaks up the altercation by stepping between Alonso and the male partygoer. Afterwards, Alonso remained at the party and was reported by his friends to be in good spirits. At this point, his friends began to leave, each assuming that someone else was giving Alonso a ride. They didn't communicate it, but they each assumed that he was catching a ride with one of them. Sadly, this was not the case. The next morning, Maria, Alonso's mom, receives a phone call from one of Alonso's friends and realized her son had not returned home from the party. Maria then began calling more of Alonso's friends in an attempt to locate him. Word started to spread among Alonso's friends that he had not made it home after the party. Some of them rushed back out to La Cine, where the farmhouse where the party was located, to look for him. During their search of the area surrounding the farmhouse, Alonso's friends found his hat and one of his boots, located across the street from the home's driveway. Alonso's other boot was found in a creek bank nearby later on during the investigation. Now a month has passed. While police search by both local and state departments, Alonso's family was permitted to search the farmhouse and surrounding property on May 1st, 2004. Sadly, Alonso's body was found fully clothed and laying on top of a pile of debris in a creek just 250 feet away from the home. At first, Alonzo Brooks' cause of death was ruled to be undetermined. His family was devastated by the discovery, and they lament the fact that none of the people who called themselves his friends were not there to help Alonso at least make sure he arrived home safely. Something they are sure Alonso would have done for any of them, or even a stranger. Police note it was a challenge to nail down an accurate time from the party girls by the guests at the parties, due to that weekend being the weekend that converted to daylight savings time. So it was a little bit hard for them to get an accurate time frame of all the events happening that evening. Alonso's case was reopened by the Department of Justice and the FBI in June of 2020. And on July 22nd of 2020, Alonso's body was exhumed in an attempt to learn more information regarding his suspicious death. So at this point, it took a month to find his body, and now years have passed with no type of information or resolution to the case. No, it just went cold. Now the FBI is currently offering $100,000 rewards to anyone who has information regarding the Alonso's tragic and untimely death. In April of 2021, a federal forensic examiner who performed a second autopsy released that his findings included that Alonso's manner of death should be reclassified as a homicide. During this announcement of this information, former U.S. Attorney for the District of Kansas stated that Alonso's death was no accident and that he had been killed, officially reclassifying Alonso's case as a homicide investigation. It has now been nearly 18 years since Alonso was killed, and the investigation continues into his death, which continues to be led by the FBI and the Kansas Bureau of Investigation. The FBI is still offering the reward up to $100,000 for information leading to the arrest, prosecution, and the conviction of the individual or individuals responsible for Alonso's death. If you are listening to this podcast today and you may know something, please contact the FBI tip line at 816-474-TIPS. It is very helpful if you do know anything or you heard anything that you do report it. Any little bit helps. We need to help this family find some closure and definitely some justice for Alonso. This family they have been grieving for 18 years and they don't know what happened to him and who did it to him. So if anyone knows anything, please just don't forget, you can contact the FBI tip line. Again, the number is 816-474-TIPS. And that is all for today. Thank you for tuning in. And I do hope you continue to subscribe and support us here at True Crime Junkies. If you have a case and you would like to share it with us, you can email me at truecrimejunkies@gmail.com, or you can message me through our Instagram page. I really wish you all have a great weekend, and I will be, this will be available to you soon. And again, I hope you guys enjoy this, and if you have any information, message us or message the FBI tip line. We appreciate your time and your support. Have a great weekend. Bye.